not fake news, and this is the place to find it. AAU TV.
The voice of higher education in Africa.
Good day and thank you for tuning in to the AAU TV Mid-Week News, coming to you live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities. My name is Maame Ekua, Otuakoa, Nyame, and now to our top stories. In higher education, sterling 2 billion naira for 600 Nigerian students' education. In health, cholera cases surge in Sudan, WHO warns of regional risk. In business, IMF board to decide on Ghana's $370 million disbursement in July. And in international, Israel and Iran exchanged deadly attacks amid global ceasefire appeals. Please stay with us for the news in detail. After the short brief, we'll be right back. In a bold move on Democracy Day, Nigeria's Sterling Bank has launched a 2 billion naira scholarship program, one of the largest private sector education investment in the country's history. The initiative, named Beyond Education, aims to fully sponsor 600 students across all 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, focusing on future-ready disciplines such as technology, finance, sales, and public health. It also marks another chapter in the bank's commitment to its long-term development strategy.
On Democracy Day, Sterling Bank, hailed as Nigeria's most forward-looking financial institution, unveiled a game-changing initiative. With a 2 billion naira investment, the Beyond Education Scholarship Program will fully fund private university education for 600 deserving young Nigerians. This is one of the most substantial education commitments ever made by the private investor to a single Nigerian tertiary institution. The program reflects the bank's broader heart strategy supporting health, education, agriculture, renewable energy, and transportation, with more than $500 billion already deployed across these sectors. Sterling Bank CEO Abubakar Suleiman emphasized that progress requires action, not just intention. He stated that while many discuss Nigeria's potential, Sterling is investing in it, directly funding the next generation of leaders who will shape the country's businesses, system, and institutions. The program is open to young Nigerians nationwide. Applicants can nominate themselves or be nominated by others, with the final selection determined through a public vote exclusively open to Sterling account holders. Obina Ukachukwu, the executive overseeing retail and consumer banking at Sterling, noted that this initiative offers more than just access to education. It offers access to a future. He reiterated that education remains the most vulnerable asset anyone can have, and the bank is proud to support young Nigerians in their journey. The pilot partnership is with Miva University, funded by tech entrepreneur Sima Shagaya. Fully accredited and designed for the digital economy, Miva is redefining how higher education is delivered in Africa. This initiative signals a shift in corporate responsibility from one of philanthropy to long-term ecosystem building. Sterling is already laying the groundwork in areas like digitized healthcare, solar power, agriculture cooperatives, and affordable transport. Mr. Suleiman stressed that this effort is more than scholarship. It's about building lasting systems and empowering the minds that will shape Nigeria's future.
Meanwhile, in a significant development for higher education in Kenya, Cabinet Secretary Dr. Julius Migos Ogamba has officially designated Cabinet University College in Baringo County as a constituent college of Moa University. This move, formalized through the Cabinet University College Legal Order 2025, aims to enhance access to quality education in the Rift Valley region. The college is now empowered to operate independently within the Moa University framework, offering professional, scientific and technological education and engaging in research and innovation.
In a landmark decision, education Dr. Julius Migo Ogampa has officially recognized Cabanat University College as the constituent college of Moa University. This designation, formalized through the Cabanat University College Legal Order 2025, marks a pivotal step in expanding higher education access in Kenya's Rift Valley region. The order grants the college corporate status, allowing it to own property, enter into contract, and engage in financial transactions. Dr. Okamba emphasized that the college is now equipped with the necessary tools to operate independently within the Moa University framework, including the authority to hire staff, admit students, and develop academic programs. Cabanat University College is set to offer professional, scientific, and technological education while also engaging in research and innovation. The institution is committed to promoting equity and inclusivity, ensuring that no student is denied opportunity based on gender, religion, disability, or economic background. Dr. Okamba highlighted the importance of governance, stating that the college's financial operation will be subject to audit by the Controller and Auditor General, ensuring transparency and accountability. He also noted that the college's eventual transition into a fully fledged university is in alignment with the Kenya's Vision 2030 and the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Dr. Okamba concluded by encouraging students, staff, and stakeholders in Baringo County to take pride and ownership of the institution, viewing it as a symbol of hope, growth, and transformation for the entire community.
Now in health, the World Health Organization is sounding the alarm over a surging cholera crisis in Sudan, warning that the disease could spill into neighboring countries like Chad, where hundreds of thousands of Sudanese refugees live in dangerously overcrowded camps. With the war in Sudan now in its third year and health systems in ruins, the humanitarian risk is mounting fast.
The World Health Organization has issued a stark warning this Friday. Cholera cases in Sudan are on the rise and could soon spill into neighboring nations. As Sudan's devastating civil war enters its third year, health infrastructure has collapsed. Hunger is deepening, and now disease is spreading fast, especially in Khartoum, where recent drone attacks have crippled basic services. WHO representative for Sudan, Dr. Shebo Sabani, speaking via video link from Port Sudan, reported that the disease has now spread to 13 states, including North and South Darfur, both bordering Chad. The death toll has already reached nearly 1,900, with the rainy season threatening to accelerate transmission. Chad, already overwhelmed by more than 300,000 Sudanese refugees, is bracing for impact. Many are living in cramped, unsanitary camps with little to no access to health care. Francois Batalin-Gaya, the UN's humanitarian coordinator in Chad, cautioned that in overcrowded, unsanitary conditions, a potential outbreak could be devastating. While Chad has not confirmed any cholera cases yet, suspected infections have been reported just kilometers away in Sudan's Jenaya region, dangerously close to the border. WHO is urgently calling for temporary ceasefires and humanitarian corridors to deliver vaccines and contain not just cholera, but other growing threats like dengue and malaria. Though a recent vaccination campaign has helped reduce fatality rates in parts of Khartoum, officials say more is needed and fast to prevent a wider regional health catastrophe.
Please stick with us in News for Discovery. After the short break, we'll be right back. In our Discovery News, a groundbreaking initiative in Ghana and Sierra Leone is using AI-powered drones to locate and eliminate mosquito breeding grounds, aiming to prevent malaria outbreaks before they begin. The drones scan wetlands and river banks for stagnant water, then deploy larvicide with precision. The project, supported by Japanese startup Sora Technology, is already showing promise in hard-to-reach areas. With malaria still killing thousands across sub-Saharan Africa, experts say this preventive approach could reshape public health responses. Local leaders are calling for regional expansion as climate change and drug resistance complicate the fight against the disease.
In the battle against malaria in West Africa, innovative technology is taking the skies. In Ghana and Sierra Leone, AI-powered drones are now being used to detect and eliminate mosquito breeding grounds before the disease can spread. These drones, equipped with advanced camera and artificial intelligence, scan wetlands, river banks, and fields for stagnant water where mosquitoes lay their eggs. Once detected, they precisely release larvicides to prevent mosquito populations from growing. This initiative, developed with support from Japanese startup Sora Technology, is already delivering promising results, especially in remote and hard-to-reach areas. Experts say this technology represents a vital shift from relying solely on bird nests and medication to prevent proactive prevention. Dr. Margaret Njeri, an epidemiologist based in Nairobi, describes the project as a groundbreaking in malaria control. Meanwhile, in Kenya, a country where more than 5 million malaria cases annually, families like that of 10-year-old Angela Wanjiru know all too well the devastating impact of the disease. Angela is currently suffering from third malaria attack in just 3 months. Community health workers are hopeful that this drone technology, proving effective in neighboring countries, could help save lives here as well. Malaria continues to claim thousands of lives each year across sub-Saharan Africa, but with smart technology-driven prevention, health officials are optimistic about turning the tide.
Now in sports, South Africa ended their long wait for a major global cricket title by defeating Australia by 5 wickets in the World Test Championship final at Lord's. Australia fought hard with early breakthroughs from Pat Cummins, stirring hopes, but South Africa's record chase was the second largest ever at Lord's. The win crowned South Africa as the third team to lift the World Test Championship trophy, following New Zealand and Australia. Fans celebrated passionately as the Proteas ended years of near misses and heartbreak in major tournaments. The victory marks a historic milestone for South African cricket and cements their status among the world's best.
South Africa has broken new ground in world cricket, securing their first major global title by defeating Australia by 5 wickets to win the World Test Championship final at Lord's. Resuming their second innings on 213 for 2 and needing just 69 runs, the Proteas encountered early pressure. Australian captain Pat Cummins delivered 2 crucial blows, removing Temba Bavuma and Tristan Stubbs in quick succession, briefly reviving hopes for the Aussies. But Aiden Markram remained resolute, anchoring the innings with a superb 136, the only century of the match to guide South Africa to the brink of victory. Although he fell just short of hitting the winning runs, it was Markram's calm and commanding performance that steadied the chase. David Bedingham and Kyle Vereen completed the job, with Vereen sealing the win with a confident drive through the covers. The run chase ranks as the second highest ever at Lord's, and the moment sparkled wild celebrations among players and fans alike. Reflecting on the match, Markram said he had drawn motivation from a previous heartbreak, recalling how helpless he felt during the T20 World Cup final. This time, he said he was determined to stay at the crease and see it through, adding that all the questions he had faced in his career had finally been answered. For Australia, the resolute brought disappointment. Captain Pat Cummins noted that while the team had worked hard to reach the final, missing the opportunity by a narrow margin was difficult to accept. With this victory, South Africa joins New Zealand and Australia as the only teams to win the World Test Championship, a historic milestone and a defining moment in South African cricket.
Now in entertainment, Dance of the Crocodile, an animated project from Nigeria, has caught the world's eye at the Annecy International Animation Film Festival. Selected from over 250 entries, the film reflects Nigeria's ambition to become a key player in global animation. With growing training initiatives and support from the French Embassy, the future looks promising, but funding challenges persist.
Dance of a Crocodile, co-directed by Nigerian animator Shofela Koka, has been selected from over 250 international projects to feature on the Annecy International Animation Film Festival, one of the most prestigious stages for animated cinema. Koka says the team is actively searching for partners across Europe, the US and beyond, with hopes that the story resonates globally. While rooted in Nigerian culture, he believes the film message is universal and aims to spark curiosity about African narratives around the world. With over 2,000 films produced yearly, Nigeria already boasts the second largest film industry in the world. Now, it's turning its focus to animation, introducing training programs and integrating courses in universities. According to Ibotidem Johnson, founder of Basement Animation, local institutions are now equipping creators with the skill to develop animated content that can compete globally, rather than just serving a local audience. But despite the progress, a major hurdle remains local investments. Christophe Picot from the French Embassy says there's still a long way to go in building Nigeria's animation funding ecosystem. While things are improving, many brilliant ideas are left underdeveloped due to limited local financial backing, something the embassy hopes to change. Since 2022, the French Embassy has brought Nigerian delegations to Annecy, helping to forge networks, attract co-producers, and bring stories like Dance to the Crocodile to the world stage. This year alone, 5 Nigerian projects cut prove that with the right support, African stories can travel far and wide.
In business, the International Monetary Fund has announced that its executive board will meet in early July to review Ghana's fourth extended credit facility assessment. If approved, this could unlock $370 million in fresh funding for Ghana, pushing total disbursement under the program to $2.4 billion since its launch in May 2023. The review is seen as a key step in Ghana's path to economic recovery.
A crucial financial decision is on the horizon for Ghana as the International Monetary Fund (IMF) prepares to assess the country's fourth program review under the Extended Credit Facility. At a recent press conference, IMF Communications Director Julie Kozak revealed that the executive board is expected to evaluate Ghana's progress in early July. If the review is cleared, Ghana could receive another $370 million in financial assistance. This new disbursement would push Ghana's total support from the IMF under the current program to roughly $2.4 billion, all since the ECF began in May 2023. Kozak explained that IMF staff and Ghanaian authorities reached an agreement on the fourth review back in April. Once the board gives the green light, funds will be released shortly after. The review is a key checkpoint in Ghana's broader economic recovery strategy, a plan focused on restoring fiscal responsibility, addressing the country's debt load, and stabilizing core economic indicators. The IMF is also paying close attention to Ghana's foreign exchange situation. After months of decline, the city has shown signs of strengthening, a shift that has drawn significant interest from both the fund and local experts. According to Kozak, the IMF considers all key factors, including currency trends, when evaluating program performance. She noted that future review will closely examine financial conditions to ensure Ghana's targets remain on track. As Ghana awaits the next phase of IMF support, the spotlight remains on whether the country can stay the course and meet the terms of the extended credit program. Early July fast approaching, all eyes on the IMF Executive Board and the next chapter in Ghana's economic recovery.
And on international front, Israel and Iran have intensified their military conflict, launching new strikes that have killed civilians and raised fears of a wider regional war. Both sides have urged their population to stay clear of potential military targets. The international community, including leaders at the G7 summit, is pushing for a diplomatic resolution, but talks remain stalled as Tehran rejects negotiations while under attack.
A deadly escalation between Israel and Iran is shaking the Middle East and unsettling global markets, with civilians caught in the crossfire. On Sunday, both countries launched new waves of attack, killing dozens and injuring hundreds, many of them civilians. Israeli strikes targeted Iranian missile and nuclear sites, while Iran retaliated with daytime and nighttime missile barrages, striking cities like Haifa and Tel Aviv. Israel's prime minister, speaking from a town hit by missile fire, accused Iran of causing civilian deaths and vowed strong consequences. In turn, Iranian military officials warned Israelis to avoid areas near critical infrastructure for their own safety. As the world watches with concern, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz expressed hope that G7 leaders meeting in Canada can help ease tensions and prevent a full-scale war. Meanwhile, the conflict is hitting the global economy. Strikes on Iran's oil infrastructure have triggered a surge in crude prices. Brent and West Texas crude both jumping nearly 3% late Sunday. Iran's health ministry says over 220 people have died since Israel began its offensive. One apartment block in Tehran alone claimed 60 lives, including many children. In Israel, at least 10 people have died from Iran missile strikes, with more injured in Haifa and other cities. In Washington, U.S. officials revealed that President Trump recently blocked an Israeli request to target Iran's supreme leader. One senior official said the U.S. will not consider such moves unless American lives are directly targeted. President Trump publicly supported Israel's military actions while warning Iran not to attack American interests. He stated that any such action will be met with overwhelming U.S. military force, but also claimed that peace is possible if both sides are willing to reach a deal. Although the U.S. military has denied taking part in Israel's strike, officials confirmed they helped intercept incoming Iranian missiles over Israeli airspace on Friday. Diplomatic hopes dimmed further as Iran called off a scheduled nuclear negotiation session, insisting it would not sit down with U.S. officials while under Israeli assault. With civilians on both sides fearing what comes next, the region teeters on the edge of a border war as the international community scrambles to prevent further bloodshed.
And that is all for the news. Let's take a quick recap of our top stories. In higher education, Sterling Bank pledges 2 billion naira for 600 Nigerian students' education. In health, cholera cases surge in Sudan. WHO warns of regional risk. In business, IMF board to decide on Ghana's $370 million disbursement in July. And in international, Israel and Iran exchanged deadly attacks amid global ceasefire. And now, thank you very much for sticking with us on the AAU TV Mid-Week News. Do get interactive with us on our dedicated news portals at the Association of African Universities. My name is Maame, Otuakoa, Nyame. Do have a lovely week.